And coffee for Mr. Harth.
You'll take coffee, Harth?
Oh, yes, I will indeed. Very kind of you.
I find it doesn't agree with me.
Stimulates the heart, Headmaster.
So I believe. Thank you, Wrigley.
You don't mind?
Not at all. Please do. I was wondering what you thought of my few words on the latrines.
Oh, very forceful, Headmaster. I'm sure they went home. Very vivid metaphor, the farmyard animal. I congratulate you.
But do you think they will produce the culprit?
No, Headmaster.
Neither do I. The point of the exercise was to see that it doesn't happen again.
I see.
And it won't.
If I might mention it, I'm reminded of the note you sent round last year about relationships between senior and junior boys.
Yes.
I'd been wondering, after penning lists of boys who appeared to enjoy each other's company and submitting them to you, what the denouement of that little drama was to be.
I was unable to complete my investigations to my satisfaction. You may be aware of the reasons.
And yet, Headmaster, the results must have been pleasing to you. I've noticed that senior boys in my house now glance furtively in my direction before venturing to address the most casual remark to their juniors. Little rips in the second form are able to experience authentic frissons of wickedness simply by asking the captain of football who won the match. The crime rate, the observable crime rate, is down. That must be a source of great satisfaction to you, surely?
Pilot Jones wasn't in assembly this morning.
No? Oh, no, I believe you're right.
Do you happen to know where he was?
Alas, no, Headmaster.
It's not the first time.
Forgive me, Headmaster, but it isn't strictly compulsory for masters to attend every morning assembly, is it?
It's a matter of responsibility. Other masters recognize their responsibility. Pilot Jones apparently doesn't, or chooses to ignore it.
I'm sure he had urgent house business. For myself, I should be very loath to miss an assembly. It isn't just a question of responsibility. Frankly, Mr. Alcock, over the last year, your assemblies have been a great source of pleasure to me.
Thank you, Harth. Harth, it struck me as odd when I first came here that this school does not have an official post of deputy headmaster.
I suppose it is odd now that I come to think of it.
I'm surprised it hasn't occurred to you before, as the most senior housemaster in terms of experience.
I've been quite content with my lot.
It might be possible, with the governor's consent, to establish such a post.
I see.
There are a number of administrative tasks that could well be delegated. Nothing onerous in themselves. They become an irritating burden when added to my main duties.
Mr. Harris used to dole out these jobs on an informal basis to anyone he thought might fancy them.
Harris and I have very different concepts of administrative efficiency. Now, there is another function that a deputy head could fulfill. A very important one. He could be the link between the head and the staff.
In what particular way, Headmaster?
You could monitor the standards of the school, particularly as regards their observance by members of the staff.
I don't believe I follow you.
Pilot Jones would be a case in point.
Ah, I see. You mean that if I were in the post of deputy head, I should have a friendly word with Pilot Jones, remind him that regular attendance at Head's assembly would be of general benefit and so on?
I do not mean that. I mean that you should take note of any breaches in the observance of my standards and report them to me, and subsequently assist me in any appropriate action.
Yes. A kind of information and policing function, would that be it?
If you wish. You understand, I am not speculating in the abstract. I am talking about a practical proposal of advantage to you, personally.
I'm flattered, Headmaster, more than I can say. But if I had hankered after a career in spying, I should have applied for the Secret Service. I'm dreadfully sorry, Headmaster.
Here.
Now, Ramsay MacDonald calls his government national, but it doesn't represent the people of this country. Ramsay MacDonald has broken faith with the people of this country, but that doesn't mean we've got to lose faith in ourselves.
Get back to school!
Get back to school, my friend over there. Well, sir, if you think that 3 million on the dole and wage cuts all round are all that you deserve, you should be back in school yourself, in the corner with a dunce's cap on. Even so, my friend, you deserve better than a wage of 35 shillings a week. You deserve better than a tied cottage you can be thrown out of any time the squire gives the nod.
Good luck to the squire.
Well, now I've heard it all. All right, friend. If you want to keep the squire in luxury and yourself on the poverty line, cast your vote for Humphrey Simmons and see what thanks you'll get. You won't see him again until he's after your vote at the next election. Am I right? Mr. Simmons is a sensitive man, you see. He doesn't like to see people starving, so he stays in his big house up in London so he won't be all upset.
He doesn't want to go to this place.
All right, my friend, I was waiting for that one, too. Now, I blame Ramsay MacDonald for a lot.
Where's your
and
old
I don't
man?
blame him for the Wall Street crash.
Ran off and left you, didn't he? I'm buggered if I blame him.
More noise from the dunce's corner.
Where's your old man?
I think you've got the needle stuck, my friend.
Get your fun, man.
There's not going to be any fun, my friend. There'll be no fun for you or for me if we return this present government at the polls. Now, this is what the Labour Party stands for.
Where's your old man?
Social justice.
Who do you think you are?
Tis a fancy man.
All right, friends, all right. If any of you have any political questions...
Where is he?
What's
this?
Mr. Powlett Jones.
Had a couple, have you?
Does she have to put up with folk like that at every meeting?
No, but you can see for herself. She can handle it.
Would you?
It's got more to her than I
Is
thought.
that your problem, friend?
And me.
Yes, you. I thought perhaps it might be. You're one of Mr. Transome's men, aren't you? Well, are you?
What are we?
And he's bought you a couple of drinks to come here and make a nuisance of yourself. I wasn't born yesterday. Neither was he. He'd rather buy you a few beers at election time than raise your wages all the year round.
It's none of your business.
What makes you so sure of that, my friend? Wouldn't that be much cheaper?
Ah, now then, what's the alternative? Fighting in the streets?
Or
Scandal in the
have you
newspaper?
had more than a couple?
You shouldn't have come down here.
Clouded your
We've got
judgment.
troubles enough as it is.
All right, look,
Don't
calm
run
down
away
now.
with
You've
the
done your
idea,
job
my
and I'm
friend,
grateful. Shall we
that
just go
total
back?
I will, sir. You
absence
won't.
of the Labour Party
Not with that
platform.
reporter hanging
I just
round.
want to remind
No,
you
down to the Red
that
Lion.
drowning your sorrows
Wait in the
is
snug mine, not the
gonna get
public.
you a living wage.
I'll tell her where you are.
All right, friend.
Now, it really isn't the end of the world, Cuthbertson. I think it is at the time, but it isn't. You hear now?
Sir.
Happens to lots of people. I even had a little bit of it myself when I first went away to school. Don't you go telling that to your friends. That's our secret. Right? Who are your friends here, by the way?
Haven't got any, sir.
Oh, come on. Can't be as bad as that. It'll all seem different in the morning. Let's get cracking. Did anyone wake up when you came out?
No, I don't think so, sir.
Well, fine. You cut along. Good evening, Headmaster. Were you looking for Mr. Powlett Jones? He's not here.
What is this boy doing here?
He's on his way back to the dorm, sir.
It is now 2 hours after lights out. Go back to your dormitory immediately, boy. I shall wish to see you after morning prayers. Your explanation, Mr. Molyneux. And I advise you to think before...